Original post. A mother like no other. My mama was a miracle. At 82, she'd raised 14 kids, 27 grandkids, and 6 great-grandkids, plus countless friends of the family who called her grandma anyway. I'm her youngest, a 36-year-old mom myself, and I've never heard her raise her voice, not once. She had this way of making everyone feel safe, like the world was softer when she was around. I remember being 6, scraping my knee, and Mama wrapping me in her arms, humming a hymn until I stopped crying. She'd do the same for my kids, her grandbabies, when they'd tumble during backyard playdates. Every Sunday, our house overflowed with family siblings, cousins, neighbors drawn by Mama's cooking, and her laugh that filled every corner. She'd set out plates of fried chicken and cornbread, never letting anyone leave hungry. That was her, all love, all the time. Growing up, I saw her pour that love into everyone. She'd sit up late with my older sister, braiding her hair and listening to teenage woes. She'd teach my brothers to fix bikes, patient even when they broke her tools. When a neighbor's kid showed up hungry, she'd make an extra plate without a word. I thought she was invincible, but a few months ago, we got the news. Breast cancer, her 3rd time. The first 2 rounds, she fought hard with chemo, smiling through the nausea. This time, at 82, she shook her head. I'm tired, she said. I want to go out with dignity, at home. My heart broke hearing those words. I wanted to beg her to fight, but I saw the peace in her eyes. She was ready, even if I wasn't. Now, I'm staring down the loss of the best person I've ever known. Mama's still here, but every day feels like a countdown. I lie awake at night, picturing her rocking me as a baby, her voice singing me to sleep. I think about my kids, how they'll grow up without her stories, her hugs. I'm not just losing my mama. I'm losing the glue that held our family together. My dad, married to her for 64 years, is fading too. He's aged a decade in weeks, his eyes hollow as he sits by her bed. I know when she goes, he won't be far behind. It's too much to carry sometimes, this grief that's already swallowing me. But I have to keep going for Mama, for Dad, for my kids. I just don't know how I'll do it without her. Losing Mama is tearing us apart, but it's also pulling us together. As the youngest of 14 siblings, I'm part of a team keeping Mama and Dad cared for around the clock. We're a big family, scattered across town but united for this. My siblings, some with kids, some with grandkids, take shifts at our parents' house. I'm there 2 nights a week, sometimes more if someone's sick or stuck at work. It's exhausting, but it's for Mama, so we make it work. Dad's trying too, but he's a shadow of himself. At 86, he shuffles around, holding Mama's hand, whispering stories from their 64 years together. His face is gray, his shoulders slumped. I'm sure he'll follow her soon, like a tree falling after its roots are gone. It hurts to see him like this, knowing I'm losing them both. My days are a blur. I get home from work, cook dinner for my kids, spaghetti or chicken nuggets, something quick, and make sure their homework's done. I hug them tight, tell them I'll be back after they're asleep, and head to Mama's. There, I help with whatever she needs, adjusting pillows, fetching water, or just sitting by her bed, listening to her soft voice tell me about the old days. Some nights, I help Dad to bed when he's too tired to move. By the time I'm home, it's past midnight, and I'm up at 6 to start again. I'm running on coffee and love, but I'm drained. Last week, we had a sibling meeting at Mama's kitchen table. All 14 of us crammed in like old times. We mapped out a care schedule, arguing over who could take extra shifts. My oldest brother, Tom, took charge, but I saw the worry in everyone's eyes. We're a team, but we're tired. I left that meeting proud of our family, but feeling the weight of it all. I just want to do right by Mama while I still can. While I'm pouring everything into caring for Mama, my home life is starting to crack. My husband, John, is 40, and we've been married 12 years. Never spent a night apart until now. We have 2 kids, Emma 10 and Lucas 7, who are my world. When I'm at Mama's, John's job is simple: get the kids to bed and handle the morning routine. That means tucking them in, reading a story, and making sure they're up for breakfast, cereal, or toast. Nothing fancy than waiting with them for the school bus. The kids know their routine. They're good about brushing teeth and packing backpacks. I make sure dinner's ready before I leave, so John just has to heat it up. It's not a heavy lift, but he's struggling, and it's driving a wedge between us. Lately, John's been short-tempered. He says I'm gone too much, leaving him to handle everything. Last week, he snapped. I'm basically a single dad here. I was stunned. I get that he's tired. Work's been tough. And he's not used to solo parenting. But I'm not on vacation. I'm watching my mama slip away. His complaints feel like a slap. Like he doesn't see how much I'm carrying. I try to check in, texting to make sure the kids are okay. But he just responds with one-word answers. The tension's building. And I'm too drained to fix it. I love John. But right now, I need him to step up, not push back. Every time I walk out the door to Mama's, I feel him glaring. And it's eating at me. I'm starting to wonder if our marriage can handle this. The tension at home finally boiled over one evening. I'd taken Emma and Lucas to see Mama and Dad. A quick visit to share hugs and stories. Mama was weak, but smiled as Lucas showed her his latest drawing. I got home, exhausted, with a lasagna prepped for John to warm up. I told the kids I'd be back after their bedtime, and started for the door to head back to Mama's. That's when John lost it. "You're always leaving me with everything," he shouted, his face red. "I'm not your babysitter." I froze, my hand on the doorknob. His words hit like a punch. "I'm not abandoning my family. I'm trying to hold everyone together while my mama's dying." My patience, already thin from sleepless nights, snapped. My mama's dying. "John," I yelled back. "You're their dad. Deal with it." The kids stared, wide-eyed, from the living room. Since then, it's been silence. John's barely looked at me, answering in grunts or not at all. I'm furious he can't see what I'm going through, but guilt's creeping in too. Did I go too far? I lie awake, replaying Mama's life, her endless giving, never yelling, always there for us. Am I failing as a wife? Leaving John to handle the kids? We've never been apart in 12 years, and this feels like a wall between us. I expected him to step up, to be my rock, while I lose the woman who taught me love. Instead, I'm angry, hurt, and questioning everything. Was I wrong to snap? I don't know. All I know is I'm drowning in grief, and I need my husband to meet me halfway. Update 2 days later. The silence at home after my blow-up with John was deafening. But something shifted 2 days later. My older sister, Sarah, stopped by our house after her shift at Mama's. She's the third oldest, always the one to see through my tough front. Over coffee, I spilled everything John's complaints. My outburst, the guilt eating me up. Sarah listened, then put her hand on mine. "You're carrying too much, but don't lose John over this," she said. "Talk to him. He's not Mama, but he's your family too." Her words hit hard. I'd been so wrapped up in Mama's illness, I hadn't seen how John was struggling. Sarah reminded me how she and her husband navigated their own rough patch when Dad had a stroke years ago. It wasn't about choosing family over marriage. It was about finding balance. That night, I found John in the living room, scrolling on his phone. I took a deep breath and sat beside him. "I'm sorry for yelling." I started. "I'm drowning with Mama's illness, but I didn't mean to push you away." He looked up, his face softer but tired. He admitted work's been brutal layoff rumors at his job, and handling the kids alone felt like too much. "I just feel invisible," he said. It stung to hear, but I got it. We talked for an hour, really talked, for the first time in weeks. We agreed to a plan. My brother Tom would take the kids one night a week to give John a break, and I'd try to be home for bedtime when I could. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. I felt a spark of hope, like we were a team again. Before bed, I drove to Mama's. She was awake, her eyes bright despite her frail frame. I held her hand, her skin paper thin, and we talked about the time she taught me to make her peach cobbler. I laughed, then cried, telling her how much I loved her. She squeezed my hand and whispered, "You're doing enough, baby." That moment carried me through the night. Even with the grief still heavy, John and I aren't fixed, but we're trying, and for now, that's enough. Second update 3 weeks later. Talking with John gave me hope, but nothing could prepare me for what came next. 2 weeks ago, Mama passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by all 14 of us kids, Dad, and a few grandkids. She slipped away, holding Dad's hand, a faint smile on her face. It was what she wanted, no hospital, just love. But the grief hit like a tidal wave. I'd been bracing for it, but losing her, the woman who raised us, loved us, never raised her voice, left a hole I can't describe. We spent days crying, laughing, sharing stories about her. My kids clung to me, asking why Grandma had to go. I held them tight, wishing I had Mama's strength to make it okay. Her passing brought closure, knowing she went out on her terms. But it also made everything real. John surprised me. After Mama died, he stepped up in ways I didn't expect. He took charge of funeral plans, coordinating with my siblings, so I could focus on Dad and the kids. He sat with Emma and Lucas, explaining death in a way that felt gentle, like Mama would have done. Seeing him comfort them softened my anger. Our marriage isn't perfect, though. Last week, we argued over my late nights at Dad's. He's declining fast, barely eating, and I'm scared he's giving up. John felt I was pulling away again. This time, we talked it out before it exploded, agreeing to set a schedule so I'm home more. It's not easy, but we're learning to listen. I started going to a grief support group at the community center. At first, I felt out of place, but sharing stories about Mama, her peach cobbler, her Sunday dinners helped me breathe. Others shared too, and their losses made me feel less alone. One woman, who lost her dad, said, "Grief's like carrying a stone, but talking makes it lighter." She's right. My siblings are my rock too. Tom and Sarah check on Dad daily, and we're planning how to care for him. I'm terrified of losing him soon. But I'm not alone. John's trying. My family's here, and I'm finding ways to carry Mama's love forward. Even through the pain, losing Mama was the hardest thing I've ever faced. And 6 months later, Dad followed her, just as I'd feared. He passed quietly in his sleep, his heart too broken without her. Losing both parents so close together left our family reeling. But 2 years on, we found a new normal. My 14 siblings and I leaned on each other, sharing memories of Mama's Sunday dinners and Dad's corny jokes. We've grown closer, even with the pain. I miss them every day, but I feel their love in my kids' laughter, in the way we rally as a family. Mama's legacy, her kindness, her strength lives on in us, and that keeps me going. John and I have come a long way. After Mama's death, we started couples therapy, something I never thought we'd need after 12 years of marriage. Those sessions taught us to talk, really talk, especially when life gets heavy. John learned to share his stress, like the layoffs that scared him during Mama's illness, and I learned to ask for help instead of snapping. We're stronger now, not perfect, but a real team. John even says Mama's patience inspired him to be a better dad. He's more present with Emma and Lucas, playing board games or helping with homework, and it warms my heart to see our kids, now 12 and 9, talk about Grandma's hugs and her peach cobbler. They keep her memory alive, drawing pictures of her for school projects, and I know she'd be proud. Last year, I started an annual family gathering in Mama's honor. We meet at our old house now, Tom's every summer, grilling burgers and swapping stories. All 14 siblings, plus nieces, nephews, and kids, come together. It's chaotic, like Mama's old Sundays, but it's ours. At the last one, Sarah raised a glass to Mama and Dad, and we all cried and laughed. It's our way of staying connected, of making sure our kids know their grandparents' love. Looking back, I'm amazed at my own resilience, losing Mama and Dad, fighting with John, carrying that grief I didn't think I'd make it through. But I did, with my family, my kids, and a husband who's learned to stand by me. I'm grateful for Mama's lessons in love and for the strength to balance loss with life.